Welcome back to lesson number 8, traders. My name is Stefan Tron, and lesson 8 is going to be about flats. We're going to be going into a lot of depth on all the different variations of flats you get, and I hope you guys enjoy this lesson. So let's just quickly go over the names again. We will look at flats, triangles, complex patterns like your double free, your triple free, and then also your diagonals. Remember guys, diagonals are patterns that is ending a structure or an impulse. So the three common flats that we get is basically your regular flat, your expanding flat, your running flat, and the not so common flat you get is your contracting flat. You don't get it often, but you do get them, so you guys have to know how they look. So let's quickly look at running flats that you get. So you guys still remember how running flats look. So you get this impulse, and then your running flat will look something like this. Will break the top, and then it will come back down, but it won't break the bottom, and then you will get your next impulse. So this is your more common running flat that you do get. The other variation of this, and this really confuses a lot of traders. They don't actually know what the hell is going on when this does happen. But the other variation you get of this running flat is, and we will go and look at some examples, is basically you will get your impulse, and then you would form your running flat. But this running flat over here will go very, very, very extended. And then all of a sudden it will come back down, and traders are really confused. They don't know what is going on. And then all of a sudden it makes the next impulse. So this is the other variation of the running flats that confuses a lot of traders. I mean, it can even go on as far as that, come back down and go back up. And we'll look at some of them in the charts, and it is quite difficult, when they become so extended. But nonetheless, you can still trade them if you start to realize what the market is doing. And then obviously you guys still remember the regular flat. I mean, the regular flat is so easy. It's just comes back down, makes a little B wave. Remember your B wave in the middle, that's a bit messy. It comes back down, and this is basically your regular flat. So your regular flat doesn't break the top, but it does break this bottom, and it has to break this bottom to be a regular flat. And then of course you will get your next impulse move. Contracting flats is let's just clear that. Contracting flats is your impulse, and then you will make your correction, your messy little B wave, come back down, but this doesn't cross the top, and it doesn't cross the bottom. So this is basically your contracting flat that you get, and then you'll make your next impulse. Like I said, this one isn't so common. It doesn't form so often, but it's still nonetheless very useful to know it. And remember what I said, guys. It's absolutely key to know all these patterns and to memorize them. Then of course we get our expanding flat. Our expanding flat looks on, there's your impulse, and then your correction will look something like this. You'll break the top, and you come back down, and you break the low. So that's basically your expanding flat, and then you will make your next impulse move up. Also, this one has also got a variation like your running triangle. That also confuses a lot of traders. Is it will come back down here, and this will also become very, very, very extended, and then all of a sudden this drops down like this, and now it's messed with a lot of traders, because a lot of traders will expect this, to make a little correction and then go back down. But you have to know that once you see this middle part and you see this coming down, you have to realize, wait a second, something is not quite right. We haven't had a complete correction, and then if you recognize this, you'll get this move that goes up. And we currently have an example like this in the AUD USD, and we'll go and look at that in a few minutes time. Okay. So looking here in the USD CAD, we can see here, here we had this impulse, and look how easy this pattern was if you could have identified it. So in the middle, there's your B wave, and then this was just a regular flat, and look at this amazing move up. So over here, you got a sharp impulse move, and then over here, we had a normal regular flat on the weekly. So remember, guys, when I said this, you always want to see the two sharp impulses inside the correction to tell you that it's over. And let's make this blue. There we had the one, and then basically there we had the other one that ended the whole structure. So this whole structure was 1, 2, 3. If you go on the daily, and then we got this massive downside. And what can we see here? As there we had a running flat, we went back up, and we formed a regular flat there, and we went back up. And currently looking at this, we can already tell that chances that this is going to come back down for something like this is quite high. Also, guys, you will notice that sometimes you will get a correction like this. Let's say this is the impulse move, then you will get 1, 2, 3. And then you will come back up here, just like here on top. You will go 1, 2, 3. And then this becomes one piece. With other words, this, let me make this blue. This becomes one piece. And then when this comes back down, this becomes the second piece. And this will probably come back down also in a free wave. So it will go 1, 2, 3, come back down, and then this will be your third wave. And then this whole correction will be complete, and then you can be going up. So remember that your correction can also form like this. If I can give you another variation, that's not what I want. You can also get a correction that looks something like this. 1, 2, 3, and then it goes up. 1, 2, 3, and then it comes back down. 1, 2, 3. So this is your more complex corrections you get, and then only will you go up. So you will form, let's make it blue, you'll form one piece of the correction, the second piece over here, and then your third and last piece. And if they want to really mess you around, they can even do this. So they can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then only come back down. So currently looking at this, looking at the this big correction, chances are that it's going to come back down over here and retest this is quite high, and then this will obviously move over across like this, and then this will be your big correction once it comes back down here for the next move up. So guys, you have to focus on identifying the patterns. Let's, for example, go to the Euro AUD. I want to show you a difficult running flat that we got there. So let's go there. So here we had on the Euro D, we had this move, and then we saw this coming back down, and then we saw this, and then this coming back down and going up. So this would have confused a lot of traders. A lot of traders would have mistaken this for an ABC, for basically to come back down and reverse or make, you know, a bigger correction like that. But that was not the case. If you look carefully, and you really do have to look carefully, this broke and it became one piece, right? We can all agree about that. But a correction can never just be 1, 2, 3 moves and then we go. We didn't have a proper B wave in the middle. And then this did something like this and came back down, and when we saw that, we knew exactly what we were looking at. So let me show you what we were looking at. There was our impulse, and can you see it now? So this is also another variation of a complicated running flat. So your running flat was basically, it went up, then it made a 1, 2, 3, and then it did something like this, then it came back down again, and then only did we make the next impulse. So remember that your running flat can make a complicated variation like this. You guys can make a snapshot of this, so when you do get it in the future, you won't be fooled by thinking that you have an ABC and expecting a reversal. You have to, there you could have caught in this nice little move to the top side. So we can go to the USD JPY as well. Something there I also want to show you guys. So here on the USD JPY, we also had this move up, the sharp move back. It was just one move, and then you had this, and then you had this 1, 2, 3, and then it shot up. Can you tell me what this is? Yes, you guessed right. This is also another variation of the running flat you get. So remember, the two variations of the running flat you can also get is basically you have an up move, and then you'll make like a 1, 2, 3, go up like this, and then this will just be a single impulse move down, and then you'll get your next, a single sharp move down, and then you'll get your next impulse move up. So that's the one variation of the running flat you get. And then obviously it's the other one that you will get an impulse move up, a sharp pullback, and then this will go up like this, and then here you'll make a 1, 2, 3, and then you will go up. So these are the two more complicated variations of the flats you do get. Other difficult running flat you might also get is you'll get an up move, you'll come back down, and in the middle you will get an expanding flat like this, and then you'll go back up, come back down, and then, so this is another complicated a running flat you can also get. So remember these difficult variations of the running flat. They will help you in the future when you see it. So let's quickly, on the AUD USD, there's something I want to show you. Okay, so basically what we've got here, we've got this sharp move, and then we've got this, and then we got the sharp move up, and then all of a sudden it drops. Remember that difficult expanding flat variation I was talking about, and that's exactly what we have here. If I pull this, and I pull this, can you see? Clear as daylight, guys. This was an expanding flat we had. How many traders would have been fooled when they saw the sharp move coming back down and thinking, oh, we're actually going down now, we're not, and they neglect to look at the whole picture we've got. And the whole picture was telling us expanding flat, you're going to get the next impulse move up, and look how sharp that next impulse move went up. So remember this difficult variation of, that extension, if you have to measure it in pips from this top, was almost 200 pips. So it was very extended. So guys, 80% of all corrections will be flats. So know your flats very well. Let's go to the Great Britain pound CAD. And there we go, let's go there. Let's just go there. So if I have to ask you guys what was going on inside here, you'll be very, very, very confused, right? And these are one of those complex double free, triple frees I was talking about in the beginning. But this is a weekly. If you go to a monthly, it would become very crystal clear what this actually was. Let's just move this up a bit so we can see what's going on there. And let's pull our lines. So if you look at this in the monthly, it's very obvious. Let's make this blue. There we are, our first sharp move in our impulse, in our correction. Remember, you're looking for two sharp impulses in the opposite direction of the bigger impulse in your correction. And there you had the second one. And then inside here was your B wave. So this on a monthly is very clear what we had. We had just a normal regular flat on the monthly. But if you go to a weekly, it's not that simple anymore. If you go here in the weekly, let's just take these lines off. And you had 1, 2, 3, and then you had another 1, 2, 3 up, and then you had another 1, 2, 3 down. Can you see it? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 down. So this is one of those complex triple free patterns that you will get. And like you've seen, this can drag out for a very long time. But in actual fact, this was just, I can show you here on the MACD as well. Let's just this was a simple ABC. We had divergence, and if you go to a weekly, to a monthly, you would have seen in a monthly it was just a normal regular flat. So remember, in a monthly it can be a regular flat, but when you go to a weekly, this complex can be this correction can be very complex, like we had the triple free over here. So guys, what I want you guys to do is take a single chart and basically go into that chart on all time frames and go and identify all the patterns on that chart and all the impulses on all time frames. It will give you a lot of good practice. So those are basically it for all the flats. And the next lesson will be on triangles.